This is Rummy's Corner. This past weekend, Artur Beterbiev became the first undisputed world light heavyweight champion during the modern four-belt era when he was awarded a 12-round majority decision against Dmitry Bivol. Canelo Alvarez was the first undisputed world super middleweight champion ever, both in the four-belt era and in any other era during the division's relatively short history. Although technically he no longer holds that distinction after he was stripped by the IBF back in July. Can Canelo Alvarez beat Artur Beterbiev? Look, I understand the optics here. Most boxing fans would outright dismiss the possibility, and some would even laugh at the prospect with claims that Beterbiev would easily destroy Canelo. And maybe he would. I would certainly favor Beterbiev in that matchup, but at the same time, I don't believe a Canelo victory against Beterbiev is the impossibility that many believe it to be. Indeed, I believe that Canelo might actually have a decent shot against the undisputed king at 175. Canelo is a four-division champion, having won titles at 154, 160, 168 where he was undisputed, and he also won a title at 175 back in 2019 when he faced Sergey Kovalev. Many people viewed it as a crazy matchup, not giving Canelo much of a chance. But in the end, Canelo scored a brilliant highlight reel knockout. Kovalev may no longer have been the powerhouse crusher he once was before losing back-to-back fights against the great Andre Ward, but he was still a reigning, much larger champion, and Canelo made a huge statement in that one. But of course, Canelo was and remains better suited for 168, where 175 seems to be maybe just a step too far for him against the division's elite today. That point was driven home when Canelo suffered only the second loss of his professional career against Bivol 2 years ago. Canelo had a lot of difficulty penetrating the impeccable guard of Bivol, and even when he was landing, often on the arms and shoulders, Canelo's power just did not seem to have the same type of impact it had against guys at 168. Not even close. But one thing worth considering is that in addition to having incredible defensive prowess, Bivol is a tough and durable guy. He proved that this past weekend when he became the first and only boxer to ever last a distance against Beterbiev in a professional fight. Bivol is a hard guy to connect on, and even when you do connect, he can take a damn good punch. A lot of people believed that Bivol deserved the victory against Beterbiev, and it was close and competitive enough that I thought it reasonably could have been scored either way, and indeed, it reasonably could have been ruled a draw. The general view here held by many is that Beterbiev is simply too big and too powerful for Canelo, and that might well be true. Beterbiev will be 40 if he ever fights again, and he was coming off of knee surgery. But all the same, Beterbiev was very impressive over the championship rounds where he showed a strong reserve tank. That furthers the view that, in addition to being too big and too strong, Canelo at times has shown stamina issues where he needs a breather round here and there. And that is also something that could play to Beterbiev's strengths. I don't think a fight between Beterbiev and Canelo is likely to happen, and if it ever does, it almost certainly wouldn't be anytime soon. It sounds like Beterbiev and Bivol will almost certainly have a rematch, and while it seems like a dead prospect at the moment, I still have a hunch we might yet see a fight between Canelo and Bud Crawford. But say Beterbiev wins his rematch with Bivol, which is by no means a given, and say Canelo wins his next fight, be it Crawford or whoever. The earliest Canelo Beterbiev could conceivably happen would be like a year from now, say next September. Beterbiev would be a year older, and assuming he wanted to resume his career, or even if he didn't, a Canelo payday is certainly something he might find appealing. Bivol proved that he is tough and durable and defensively awesome. He was the first man to go the distance with Beterbiev, but the thing of it is, Canelo is really tough and durable too. Canelo has proven to have a terrific chin of his own. He can take a big punch. And while this might be a point of contention for some, Canelo probably has more pop than someone like Bivol. When you consider all of these things, if Canelo can manage to absorb Beterbiev's incoming fire while landing accurate hard counters of his own, I definitely think he would have a chance. Again, I don't believe the fight is likely to ever happen, and if it ever did, based on where they are right now, I would unquestionably favor Beterbiev to win. Canelo himself has had a long career where he has experienced a lot of wear and tear. So if Canelo wants to attempt to make one last legacy boost to an already mighty impressive career where he is undoubtedly a future first ballot Hall of Famer, theoretically adding or even attempting to win Undisputed at 175 would probably be the most feasible way for him to dare to be great and add mileage to his legacy at this point. Canelo, however, has already accomplished a great deal, and I'm not entirely sure if he would ever want to take that type of risk at this stage. But if he ever did, I think it would be foolish for boxing fans to completely write him off. What do you think? Could Canelo beat Beterbiev? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.